welcome to Just Another Play, episode 3.
What's going on, guys?
Rob here with me. We have Rafa here from Fiesta Radio, and we're going to have a good episode. We're going to be talking about a few different things, independently starting a business. We'll be talking about a little bit from the radio station side of things. I'll let these guys kind of do a background on themselves and do an introduction on themselves. I'm a local real estate agent here, as well as I have a small kind of consulting and digital marketing company. So if you need any help in the market, let me know.
What's going on, guys? You know who it is. It's Rob the Rebel. You know I'm in the fitness industry. We have a gym out here. I do fitness consultations as well with marketing in the business. So,
Yeah, and I'm Rafa, a.k.a. Montana, but yeah. Rafa Cerros for you on the professional level. I am the co-founder of Fiesta 87.7 FM and all our media platforms.
So, I've worked with Rafa in the past and tried to help them do some things as far as social media and some other things, as far as marketing as well, too. So that's how I really got to know Rafa and some of his background, too. I wanted to bring him on today because he's had a unique bringing and a different journey and just has dealt, just the story of starting, a radio station independently in the middle of a pandemic is a great, story, and how involved and how good things are going. Right. Last time we usually start off with a few basic questions so we can get some background and understanding on some of our guests and our hosts. Rafa, if you want to kind of quickly go through maybe your upbringing a little bit.
Yeah, I was born in Los Angeles. Throughout my whole life, my parents, first generation American, grew up in all the swap meets selling CDs, cassettes.
That old school.
Yeah.
I
think I got a picture when I was a baby. We had LPs, so.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so I grew up in the swap meets. Music and business has basically been my whole life. I remember, learning Spanish just by reading, Los Tucanes de Tijuana or, Los Temerarios, Los Bukis, and learning how to, write Spanish. That's basically where the music comes from. The entrepreneurship comes from more of either, I don't know if it's by blood or just seeing my parents hustle their butts off.
Yeah.
Them taking me to all the swap meets, and we used to travel in Cali. We're spoiled here in Vegas. But in Cali, to get to a swap meet or to get to somewhere, the destination is an hour plus, you know what I'm saying? So we used to hit up, all the swap meets. Hours away. And
You guys used to just sell records at first and music?
Music. One of my uncles, he owned a big distributor,
nice.
Music distributor, CD, cassette, CDs, whatever. And
what era was
like
this, like the 80s, 90s?
It started in the 80s. He worked for like a big corporate, and then he ended up starting his own. I remember it was in the back of his house in the little spot, and then ended up being like a huge warehouse at one time. And then I started my own business. I was probably like 14, started my own business, selling CDs at that time. I think CDs were popping by then. Cassettes were still transitioning out, but. Yeah, man.
You came in that prime time of the game, too, because you got to see, like, all the fun stuff, like the concerts.
Yeah.
All that.
When Swap was really popping, too.
Yeah,
it's still popping. But.
Yeah, I remember my first concert was, like, a Banda Machos concert. And I was, like, probably, 7 years old. And, my parents used to take me to the concerts and just, vibe out with them because it was more family oriented. It's not like the concerts now where it's it's all for grown-ups. But
I remember in Phoenix, we used to go to the swap meet, and there was who was it? The local rapper there that used
MC Magic.
MC Magic.
Oh, MC Magic actually. I remember him. I actually did a show and I lost a lot of money with that. But anyway, but put that aside. But I remember he was at a swap meet one time in Indio, California, and what he would do is he would actually like customize a track for
My
people.
sister has one of those.
Yeah.
We still have it. In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
he still sells those on his website
On his
too.
website, yeah, it was a pretty cool idea. He'll just freestyle it and do his little melodies and
Yeah, I still.
It's crazy how I feel like more Latino rappers used to do the swap meets back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, because that was the only circuit available.
Yeah.
Walmart wasn't touching it at that time, until it actually became big business and started partnering, with Universal and all those other bigger companies. But at that time, it was just, it was just street.
Because it was either that or like the lowrider shows. I remember from back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that kind of leads us well into, obviously, you have a professional career now as a radio executive. What made you, obviously we know now what kind of led you into that, but was that always something that you knew maybe that you had an interest in, or when you were little, what did you want to be? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be a lot of things. But, main thing is I wanted to be the man.
The nickname says it all, though. He said Montana.
Main thing is, I just wanted to. I really like marketing itself. I always used to be fascinated by like the album covers.
Right.
Although we sold Spanish music. I remember my first hip hop tape, like actual full tape, was Nas. It was written, and
That's what's up.
that got me into the whole really like East Coast hip hop and how that went about, but just how they marketed, the videos and all that good stuff. Marketing to me it's really fun. It's selling a product and but how you position it as well and a bunch of other things. But radio itself, it's I think it's one of those mediums that people think is they've been saying it's been dying forever, but in reality it's
Traditional
practical.
radio, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's practical.
Yeah, I mean, everything is segmented now, so everybody has their preferences for everything, and it almost goes what kind of person, what kind of generation you grew up in, and I mean, I switched from NPR to the Latino station to Spotify to the local hip hop stations, and constantly all day.
And Fiesta 87.
And Fiesta, mostly Fiesta.
Fiesta 87.7. We got to shout them out again. What I think is cool because you've actually been able to go with every new upcoming thing where being a radio executive. Yeah. So how have you been able to do that?
I mean, shoot, it really. I used to do events. I used to do events at the Fort Cheyenne. I don't know if you guys were.
He said the Fort.
The Fort Cheyenne. I used to do events even at the Speedway. We used to do events at the Speedway. We used to do events like Circus. We did events. Basically, we used to break into warehouses and do these events. But I remember.
Was that with Chem Clinic, or what was that?
Yeah, no, this was actually called Brown Movement back then.
For real?
Brown Movement was the team. It was back then. It was party crews. Party crew era.
Yep.
Where everybody had their badges. We used to actually pump those out and sell them. To all the party crews and whatnot. But that's what I remember doing a media buy for a rave, going to 99.3, which ironically, I was working for a year ago.
Yep.
Going to them and saying, hey, I got this event, and them taking me serious, and just seeing kind of the mechanics of how that worked. The salesperson at that time, all the other stuff behind the scenes and how that worked, and I really liked it. And I remember, when I prior to that, I had my own business, and then I also worked for a couple banks, so I was in sales. But I remember, when I applied for that job at Univision, I remember saying and thinking and praying, this was the job for me. This was the job for me. That was the job for me. And if not, F them. You know what I mean? And I remember, it was ironic because, I had given up and everything, and then something told me, to look up in the sky, and then I got a call, and then I just looked at the sky and I said, God, you're a funny motherfucker. You irony.
And then you were at the radio station the next week.
But that's dope because if you ever look at it, we interviewed Perla when she said it, and she kind of said the same thing where you got to take those leap of faiths when you are doing stuff like that to take your next step on your career and your success and all that.
Yeah.
So that's really dope.
Yeah, no, at that situation, I had a secure job. And then I jumped into, at Univis, jumped into sale where nothing was really secured. It was just
Commission-based, yeah.
commission-based. Yeah, we're gonna give you 3
Hustle and
months.
bustle.
Yeah, 3 months of a base, but after that you're on your own. And I just speaking to my family, my woman at the time,
Real ad man right there.
I was just like, and then, speaking of ad man, I was watching a lot of Mad Men.
I know, right? Get pumped up. Oh, I can do this, right? My ideas are crazy. I know I can do it.
Yep, and just went for it, and it's history.
So you said you've been at banks. You seem like you had a professional side as well too, but you've also been a lot involved with the community as far as the local like hip hop community and things that too. Can you highlight some of what you've done with Chem Clinic and maybe just where you kind of gone with that?
Yeah, I always say that it's good to be both street smart and book smart.
Yeah.
Street smart that just came natural, but how do I use that in the corporate world? You know what I mean? So that's what kind of shaped me up, or kind of tuned me to be able to speak like this, or speak in a room full of executives with my balls on the table. You know what I mean? But that brought me to the point where it was like, community, having that pulse on your people, on the locals, and even with our Chem Clinic project, we weren't really strong. It was just kind of going after talent that I knew that I really, really trusted.
And then for people who don't know, Chem Clinic is a local like production house here. Yep. They've had a lot of great local Las Vegas talent on the team for the last 10, I don't know how long.
Yeah, shoot, 7 years I think already. But that gave me a lot of insight as far as like the production.
Give you confidence too, right? Because when you have to pitch things or be in rooms with certain people too, you're not scared to do that in a different level, right?
Yeah.
You said, you're not afraid to put your balls on the table after you've been through different situations. You know what I mean?
And at that time, unfortunately or unfortunately, you're still dealing with people like in the street.
Yeah.
So that's where my street smarts kicked in, and not to mess with so and so, or and just navigate myself accordingly, because you may get got and you don't even know.
Yeah, you're right.
But that all landed me to like now a community like at Fiesta, we do that's something that I feel personally that I owe the community to, is to give back, directly or indirectly, whether it's events, whether it's a toy drive, whether it's, a food drive, whether it's...
You guys are everywhere, too.
We're just... And believe me, man, we said no to a lot of times, and it really sucks to say no.
I know, right?
It really sucks to say no, but it's like, we can't say yes to everybody.
Yeah.
It's just, can't make everybody happy, because then...
It is,
I won't be happy.
Some people won't eat then, you guys talk about Fiesta being a big vehicle, how involved with it, with the community you guys are now. What were some of the bigger challenges that you guys maybe faced first starting off?
People weren't taking us seriously. We had I quit. Once again, I quit a really good corporate job during a pandemic.
Crazy.
6-figure job.
You just had you just followed the light, huh?
I just said, you know what? Let's me and my partner, Torito.
Shout out
Torito. Have this saying is, wherever there's a problem, there's, find a solution, or there's a...
Run towards challenges.
Yeah, run towards it and embrace it, because what we saw was a lack of community-oriented. We'd go into these radio stations or media companies, and it would say, it's our mission statement is to be about the community, and
then it becomes about the bottom line.
And it's it's all about the matrix and the numbers. It's not about the Excel sheet, the P&L. It really wasn't about the community when it really boils down to. So that's kind of what what we want to put on the table.
I love that. I experienced some of that working at Univision Television too.
Yeah.
Because you brought up your mission statement, and that's probably one of the dopest things is that you said you want to give back to the community. And what are your goals, or what were goals that you had set for yourself to kind of get to where you're at now, being an executive of your own?
Yeah, I mean, goals. There's many goals, but one of them, I guess the one that I use an affirmation every day is to be the number one Hispanic radio station. And I know we're not. I know we're not as
not
far
by the
as
numbers,
ratings.
not by the traditional
not by the
numbers.
traditional Nielsen numbers with their meter counting and all that. But I mean, we're killing y'all on social media. But
just for FYI.
No, I mean it's to be the number one Hispanic radio station, and not only radio station. I mean it's media, source for Latinos, by Latinos, for Las Vegas.
Because your clients can come to you for marketing services too.
Yeah.
Like you guys just aren't going on your airwaves. You can do Facebook ads for them. You can do whatever else they need for you.
And that's really what separated us from everybody else is that, or separates us to this day is that, we could sell you ads and it'll run and, everything will go fine and dandy. Right. But, what's that extra added value and what separates us from that, from the rest of the pack is trying to, stay relevant with all the social media news and platforms and adjusting to that and how do we, strategize on using those platforms to
be
get
impactful for your clients.
Yeah, that and, to the community, that and, to make a little bit of money on the side. Right. I mean, that's bottom line, know.
But that's dope because you know what, like for everything that you're doing and the way you stand out or trying to stand out, either way, like I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, we didn't have Spanish music. You had to go to like the AM radio station to listen to Spanish music. There was no crossover the way there is a crossover now. So just hearing you say like the representation that you are by Latino for Latinos, that's amazing because there's never been like that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, locally owned too.
Yeah,
it's not
locally
owned in LA. It's not owned in anywhere else. This is
100% Latino
feeding
owned.
families here.
Yeah, feeding families here and
because you don't see it. You don't see it. Even from the other radio stations. So
yeah, because I remember as a kid, even like the media companies. I remember being in LA. And they would talk about like all this music, and it was, I mean, no offense, salsa music and all that stuff. That's what was big, but that was like programmed and syndicated from Miami, and they weren't.
Yeah.
The streets of LA wasn't on that.
No.
We didn't care about the Grammy or Gloria Estefan winning a Grammy and this and this. We were like, banda this, banda that, and grupos this,
Because I don't think it was more commercialized back at that time with Gloria Estefan.
Norteños weren't really.
It was.
Chalino started in the early 90s?
Early 90s. Yeah. I mean, when he died, when he actually blew up.
Yeah.
Like literally, like it's crazy. But yeah, that era right there is the golden era of regional Mexican music. I would say. Right now we're in the platinum era. I would say.
It's popping right now too.
Yeah, and it's crazy now because
the whole new wave is even
the new
up.
wave. You get youngsters. Youngsters are dressed normal. We'll say they don't have to be wearing a cowboy boot or nothing, but they
got a baseball cap on.
They got a baseball cap on.
They got their name.
You know what I mean? Like it's a cool thing to see. I mean, from my perspective, because I grew up.
It's different than. The general public, right? Because the general public, you almost have to create a new music for your generation. Hispanics don't need to do that. You just take what was already popular and make it kind of, your own again.
Because I feel like we always, being Hispanic, we always had our own vibes. Each Hispanic genre had their own vibes. And then to see the young generation kind of come into it and make it their own for that time, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's with all Latinos, even parts of Mexico, even with like food.
Yep.
You go to different parts of Mexico, the mole doesn't taste the same, or the tacos don't taste the same, but it's bomb.
Right.
And it's just us getting what we have and adding our own sauce to it.
You know, currently we're going through a bunch of changes. You guys mentioned Fiesta's different than everybody else, right? What are some of the things that you guys been able to adapt to, you know, during our current times, or maybe even through your personal life that you've learned, maybe that you can speak on adapting to thrive during these times?
Honestly, I think a lot has to do with empathy, man. Empathy. I mean, I think some people look at that as being weak or having compassion for people.
There's a big push in just branding and then the marketing world in general, you know, ever since even last year and a couple of years before, being more empathetic, you know, towards race, towards whatever it may be. It's just caring a little bit more.
Yeah, caring a bit more. I mean, and you know, that goes down from your clients all the way up to, you know, the type of music we play in our community. You know what I mean? That's all across the board, and our employees, or you know, even dealing with our families. You know,
right.
It's, you know, we're all going through some. You know, that a year ago we were like, what the?
Yeah.
We didn't know. We thought, you know, zombies were gonna pop up, and you know, we didn't know it was gonna go on.
You know what? Even before that, when you know, Trump came in, we didn't know who or what was going on with immigration statuses. You know what I mean? So we, you know, these families and Latino families and first generation immigrants always have a little bit more to worry about. You know, a little bit stresses, a little bit different stresses going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I remember as a kid, man. I mean, those stresses being transferred to me, man. You know, bájate. You know, it's like 10 of us in a station wagon. Right. You know?
Right.
You know what? I think it was you guys starting a radio station in the middle of the pandemic, and even how you guys, you know, built up some of the, and I don't know how much you can share of your secret sauce, right? Because you guys kind of did things a little bit different, where Torito had a couple big social media handles where they were in charge of, and it didn't exactly just push music, but then you started to facilitate that a little bit. That's going more of an organic route, right? It's not saying we're the big radio station, come follow us. You're just making people laugh at first.
Yeah, that's the thing with our community, is we don't want to be told what to do. We don't want to be, shame on you, or do this, do that. What we want to do is, hey, give us an invitation or make us laugh, and then we'll check your shit out.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, you're right.
It's the truth.
It's the honest truth.
It's the honest truth. It's you know, we like to have fun. I mean, we're Fiesta, but at the same time, we know we have the responsibility when it got serious. You know, like with elections, or when things at the Capitol, you know, went down. We know, okay, this is all Fiesta, but at the same time, we got that responsibility to inform the public and our locals. Hey, this is going down nationally. Usually, we try to focus on local stuff, but you know, once in a while, you get that national news where it's unavoidable to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Even some of like the current issues with all the peloteros getting, like, they're victimized right now. A lot of the ice cream guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen a couple.
Yeah, that's on a whole different level. That's.
No, I seen a couple OGs issue
warnings.
Don't mess up.
No name dropping, but Vegas. You've seen it.
To Vegas.
And it's crazy, because it's just like, you would never in a million years, you know what I'm saying, think that would take place, but it is, you know. So my question for you was that you executive job, 6 figures, you know, that's every kid's dream, to say the least, right? Mm-hmm. What's running through your head to take that step and be like, you know what, I want my own? Because I think that's a lot of the things that we want to reach to the viewers, because I know some viewers, like we talked last week, it's that plunge.
The independent, living independent too. I don't think, even when I was little, maybe I didn't know exactly what business I wanted to start or wanted to run, but I knew I wanted to be my own boss, right? I don't want to work for anybody but myself.
Yeah, it has to do a lot with that, the independence. And then also, it's not what you make, it's what you take, you know? You can make 6 figures, but Uncle Sam ain't gonna let you.
Exactly, you're right.
But, you know, so it's like, okay, I'm hitting a limit, and that's pretty much the limit that I will be at.
You're right, because the opportunity stops right there. As if you were on your own, the opportunity doesn't stop.
Because one day can be the next. You can have a bad day, or you can have a great day.
Yeah, and I've always said this is like the best and worst experience of my life. But it's beautiful. I mean, I'm living again. I'm feeling like a kid again. So
you got high peaks and low, low ones.
Probably like a little bit.
Low valleys.
My girl, hey, baby, sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
I got you next week.
That's cool though, because that's the point of the business.
Yeah, I mean it's scary. I remember when we first thought about it and we're like taking it seriously, the conversations me and my woman have, and God bless, I have a good woman. She at first was resistant, like, oh shit, no, because we're talking about leaving something so safe, safety, and I mean that's created by the system, that's why it's convenient to have a job.
You're right.
You don't have to invest, there's no risk.
You're right.
The risk is you going to the job or not getting hit by a fucking car, but other than that, that's it. But that makes people very, very, very comfortable in their situation. And when we saw the opportunity, instead of seeing it as a problem, we're like, okay, everything's going on. Let's see it as a solution, and that's how we negotiated. We'll say a better rate to be able to do business.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, the first month we didn't even go out and sell. Let's fine tune the product. Let's make sure it's correct. We come correct, and then we go ham.
Yep, you're right. Is there any resources? Have you any books? You know what I mean? I know you have a lot of good things that you read on, that you pick up on. Are you a daily reader? Are you a weekly reader?
I used to be. I haven't lately.
I know.
But it's because I like using audio. I have Audible. Audible. Yeah, I have all the points, all the what is it? The rewards. I did it all.
I cannot start the audiobooks. I start getting. I don't know. I start thinking about something else. You know what I mean? I'll be.
I get like that with reading, bro. I get to.
I can start thinking.
I get to dozing off. Like I have audiobooks. I can play an audiobook and just run. I can just go.
Yeah, I lock in when I do that or drive instead of wasting time or whatever. Right. I'm feeding my brain or
What's the last book that you're? What is the one that you said that I'm reading right now is the biggest challenge. The
Stillness is the key.
Yeah.
No. That one. The obstacles.
Obstacles.
Yeah. Well, he's what's his name? Brian. Is it some Holiday? Ryan Holiday. I actually listened to his podcast called The Daily Stoic.
I'm getting really into the Stoicism stuff.
Yeah.
So emotional intelligence.
Stoicism is shit. Like if you were to take something out of this, go look into Stoicism and how you can apply that to your life. It's not like a fucking cult or anything. It sounds like a religion or whatever, but
because I think some people because I went from law of attraction, which some people kind of associate with the key, right? Which is kind of
well, that's what I don't like. It all came from Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich is my
foundation.
The foundation. That I've read that book probably like 10 times. Yep. Whenever I need a reset, and it's the same thing. Everybody just just rewrites it and says it a little bit different, but that was the original secret,
right.
quote unquote,
right?
And dealing with affirmations. And
have you read about the teachings of Abraham and all them though? About those, I'm gonna have to show you a couple books from them too.
Nah,
they're kind of crazy too, but
I mean other books that like I was crazy when I was 18. I was reading like 48 Laws of Power, and that put me on an ego trip, which. I think that book.
I still haven't read that one.
That book is too much. I mean, it's conniving and all, but what happens is that it does put you in a real world situation where there's, us as human beings, we're layers and we're like an onion of sentiments and all kinds of other things, and
how to pick and how to poke. Huh? Is that because I know that I've heard that too. That book is really will teach you how to be.
Yeah, and it's more, a reference book. If I have a problem, I just go back and listen to, how this person and and 48 AD solved it, and and how the other person, it gives you the pros and cons, like what you do against it, if this were to happen, or what you do for it, you know what I mean? Like the transgressions or whatever. Robert Greene, but yeah, Robert Greene's one of my favorite. Right. Him, Malcolm.
They all have podcasts now too.
Yep.
Are you on Clubhouse?
Thanks to you. But you know what? Yeah, I need to jump on that a little bit more.
That's why I feel like you'd like it more, because you're all on the audio stuff. I haven't been on Clubhouse. Is like the new.
Like I signed up for it and I ain't even.
I'll send you an invite, bro. I got a couple invites. Don't worry.
Yeah, because I looked at it and I was just like, all right, and then I just.
You got to get invited. It's like the. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty dope. I think it's just something hasn't popped up that really just.
It's hard to figure out at first. So like. Yeah, you gotta pop in and when somebody really good is talking, and
that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I took that social media break, to be honest with you.
You got to.
I took that.
I go in waves.
Like I have to. Yeah, like it's been recent where I'm like, I'm gonna take a week, and like I'll post stuff for the business or stuff like that, or like when we're doing the podcast. But sometimes I don't even mess with it. Like if I could leave my phone on the counter and if it rings, I'll check it, but. For the most part, I try to.
Feels good.
Yeah, man. I just
get a break
because it's the same thing. We do this over and over. Like somebody's getting drunk on the weekend.
Yeah, no, I agree. As soon as I jump in my bed, I just put it to the side and I don't touch it until I wake up in the morning and I'm ready to absorb all this bullshit. Or good news.
Yeah. It's one or the other.
Or one or the other. Yeah.
Do you want to leave anybody with some parting words or anything? Listen to Fiesta 87.7 every day.
Yeah. Listen to Fiesta 87.7. We're on all streaming platforms. That's including iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Euphoria. Actually, we also just launched our Roku TV site.
Wow,
our app.
Crazy.
So you could
listen to music on the weekends on your TV.
Not only listen, you could actually watch the videos. What? Whatever we're airing on air will show up in
a video.
On the video.
That's cool, bro.
And then we have when we have interviews and stuff inside the studio, we have cameras that we just flip on. And they're able to.
Hey, that's
interact.
different. That's adapting to what
Yeah, and we're gonna be making some tweaks to that. So for the time being, I mean, you could even see the on our website fiestaradiolasvegas.com. It's there, and then that feeds into our app on Roku. So you don't have to have Roku. You can just go to our website.
That's
other than that, I mean, thank you guys for
appreciate you blessing some knowledge on everybody.
Definitely, man.
Just letting them know that you can go from just being a kid on the streets and swap meet, to being a radio executive.
Man, I remember crushing cans to buy Ninja Turtles. That's why I have a special connection. We talked about that aside. I used to buy my own Ninja Turtles, crushing cans. In Cali, because in Cali they buy aluminum or whatever. But
hustler from the beginning too.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
So yeah,
he killed me when he said Fort Cheyenne. That brought me back.
Yeah, we used to do all the foam parties there and blacklight parties and all that stuff, man. Yeah,
everybody that grew up in Vegas remembers those. So I don't,
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Rob. You got anything?
Nope. Definitely check out the radio station.
What do you got for your business?
For the business, we got a couple things coming up. Definitely check out my Instagram. We are going to start doing some digital platforms for workouts. So if you can't make it to the gym, if you're still kind of pandemic scared a little bit to be at a gym, we're going to be doing live streams that you can actually jump in the workout.
Is that Coach One Rebel, or is it?
It's Coach One Rebel, and then we're going to be doing on the Rebel One training page as well. We'll be adding links to it, so my coaches will be talking to you while you're at home, and you'll actually be able to get the workout with the rest of the class. It's going to be a fun time once we finalize everything. One thing I do want to add to what Rafa was saying was that I think the biggest thing we can get from this is that don't get comfortable.
Yeah, you're right.
So definitely appreciate you coming out, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
man. No, yeah, don't get comfortable.
Don't get comfortable. Stay out of that comfort zone.
Yeah, with comfort comes, the devil. When you're bored, you're at home. What happens? You're home alone. What happens? You as men, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
I know we're out. You need a house in Las Vegas? Come see me too.
Yeah, check us out, man. Much love. Appreciate y'all.
Cool.